What's up, YouTube? Getting a little cold out here coming up on this season. It is almost Halloween, near the end of October, guys, and guess what? We are on episode 136. That's right, episode 136 on my daily video podcast, as well as my podcast on Spotify and Google Podcasts. I'm on both of those platforms, so make sure you guys hop on over and check them out. If you're driving and you can't be looking at the video, just go over and check them out, man. I got some good stuff that I'm always putting up, always talking about positive things to get you moving forward, right? They're not always feel-good stories, right? They're not always feel-good stories, man, you know, because, hey, listen, we all deal in real life, and when we're dealing in real life, guys, hey, things don't always work out the way you plan, and you have to learn how to be very adaptive to different things in life and circumstances that come about. So just all a part of living, and it's all a part of enjoying life to the fullest. Every moment that comes, just take it as it is, man. As I talked about yesterday, stop wishing away your days, guys. Stop wishing away your moments. Learn to cherish moments when they are there, because tomorrow's not promised. I talked about that yesterday, guys. So we're going to get started with today's podcast, right? And today's podcast, let me just go ahead and cue it, right? Let me cue it. What's up, gang? How you guys doing? I am Lieutenant Sal Blue, 28-year law enforcement veteran and the author of the top 25 mistakes en route to the good life. That's right. 25 transparent mistakes and stories about my life, right? 28 years of law enforcement, and some of the mistakes I've made, man. Just some of the mistakes I've made. I made many, but I'm giving you 25 in this book, man. In these 25 mistakes, I handpicked them to assure that if you do not make these 25 mistakes, you're living a good life, man. You are living a good life. So make sure you hop on over to Lieutenant Sal Blue, check out my book, pick up your free copy, okay, and give me a comment in the notes down here, right? And let me know how you enjoy the book, man. Good, bad, or indifferent. Any comment is a good comment to me. So continue on checking me out, and I will talk to you guys a little later with that. Now let's go ahead and get into today's podcast. And what are we talking about today, right? You know, yesterday I told you guys don't wish your life away. Well, today I'm talking about this. Are you living your life every day trying to avoid stress? Now, this is a big one. This is a big one because a lot of us, we don't like stress, right? We don't like stress as human beings. We try to avoid stress. And I'm asking you this question today because as a default, we are constantly attempting to escape anything that causes us pain. And as I've discussed in previous podcast episodes, this is our plight at life, right? Running away from pain and trying to move toward pleasure, trying to move toward things that make us feel good and feel better. Listen, I did a long time ago, before I started my daily podcast, I did a job blog where I told people to stop being soft, right? Stop being soft. Learn to take some things and build up a tougher exterior so that you can go out in life and give more and be more and become more. Because if you fall down, okay, every time the wind blows, man, you are not going to get far on this planet, man. There are a lot of forces out there trying to take you out. And if you do not build up a strong exterior, then you are going to have issues, okay, enjoying life, the life that you want, okay? So understand that, and that's why I'm talking about this this question today in today's podcast, right? Now, stress is our #1 cause of pain from the time we are born until the time we figure it out, or at least try to avoid it, right? And so if that's the case, from the time the doctor slaps you on your butt till the time they throw dirt on your face, you will always be dealing with some form of stress, guys. So if that's the case, right, then why don't we spend more time trying to figure it out, right? The causes of our stress than trying to avoid it, right? We need to begin to try to figure out what causes our stress instead of trying to run from it, right? Because if you begin to do that now, okay, instead of having something that you fear, you'll have something that you'll be thinking through, right? You'll be trying to figure out a solution. How can I figure this out? Does this round peg go in this square hole? You know the philosophy, guys. You're trying to learn and grow, and when you're learning and growing, it's a lifetime process. So if you're always taking on stress in that mindset, you'll have a better life, man. But we're going to get into this, right? The truth is, no matter how hard you try, you will never, ever avoid stress. So you must begin to acknowledge your stress, right? Acknowledge what you're faced up against, right? What things are bothering you? What things stress you out? And so what you need to ask yourself is this question right here, guys. What is my triggers that causes stress in whatever particular situation you're dealing with, right? What is the trigger, right? I don't know, for getting in shape. Maybe your trigger is your personal trainer giving you a phone call and telling you, hey, listen, we got a good workout for you today, and you know, whatever he's going to tell you, that's your trigger that you made up that is a stressor when it's good for you, right? That may be your trigger. Your trigger may be having difficulty losing weight. Your trigger may be being judged by people because you're overweight, right? So even though you want to lose weight, you avoid exercising because all around, when you show up to the gym, you know, you think that everybody's looking at you and everybody's judging you. So that's one of the triggers that you have, right? You may have a trigger at work, right? Something, some work that has to get done. Maybe some paperwork you got to follow, whatever. Something that causes you a major amount of stress. So now that's a trigger at work, right? Because you are trying to avoid the large amounts of work because it's difficult, right? We all have different type of triggers. You have to take the time to figure out your triggers, okay, and what causes you stress, right? And this is going to begin to help you to answer the question of what causes you stress and what is leading up to that stress, right? Now, whatever that answer is, understand that it has been caused, right? It has caused you to create a negative pattern in your life that will cause you to avoid doing what you know you must do to move forward. Okay, and let me break that down again so you guys could understand it, right? Right? Whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, right? Whatever the answer is to the question of what is my trigger that causes stress in this situation, right? You guys need to understand that it has caused you to create a negative pattern in your life that will cause you to avoid doing what you know you must do to move forward. See, when we have stress in life, and I said that we try to move away from it, that moving away from it is a pattern that we always do automatically, right? It just kicks in instinctually. When it comes to stress, you feel stress, you try to move away from it, right? Something causes you discomfort, you try to move away from it. A person causes you discomfort, you try to move away from them, right? And this is what we do. We do it automatically, and we have to understand that because this cannot be an automatic response to stress in your life, because most of the time, when you want to become somebody better, you want to achieve something better, you want to do something more, it is usually on the other side of difficulty. Nothing worthwhile in life has come by avoiding stress, right? Nothing worthwhile in life has come by avoiding stress. You must go through, okay, a difficulty in order to enjoy and appreciate the hard work that it has taken to get it. And so that is important for you guys to understand. It is the hard work that gives you satisfaction at the end, not the easy route, right? If you ever notice people or children who have everything handed to them, they seem to be extremely ungrateful about what they currently have, right? They're ungrateful about what they currently have. But the individual that has worked their way to the top and felt the pain and felt the stress and worked through it anyway, that is the individual that gives daily gratitude and most likely will give the most value to other people once they get there, because they understand the journey and the fight in order to achieve what they want, guys. So you have to understand that, and you have to stop that negative pattern. You have to put a halt to that negative pattern. I call it a pattern interrupt. You need a pattern interrupt in order to start moving in an opposite direction of what you're currently doing. So figure out that pattern interrupt, right? And as I said, that avoidance is a natural occurrence when faced with stress, because you see it as a reward, or at least temporarily, right? You see your avoidance as a temporary reward, when the truth is your avoidance is more of a punishment later on down the line, right? So temporarily you avoid doing what you want to do, but then because you know it is something that you needed to do, you begin to feel regret, right? And it is nothing more painful, guys, than regret of something that you know that if you would have just took 5 minutes just to start doing it, that you probably would have gotten it done. There's been many days that I've had projects that I've needed to tackle, things that I needed to get done that seemed insurmountable, guys, and the stress buildup was tremendous. But I used the 5-minute rule, right? I dedicated 5 minutes, right? Whether it was first thing in the morning or whatever it was, whatever the most difficult task that I was facing, I decided to say, I'm going to give it 5 minutes, right? And if after 5 minutes I don't feel like continuing, then so be it, okay? At least I gave it the old college try, right? And so, but that 5 minutes, you have to be intense, total complete focus, and totally dived in and dialed in on what you're doing for 5 minutes of solid focus. I promise you guys, once you're dialed in that 5 minutes of solid focus, you're not going to want to tap out on that. You're going to want to continue going, okay, in that project. But you got to give yourself the 5 minutes. You got to go ahead and say, hey, listen, I understand and acknowledge the stress, and I'm going to say that I'm going to do 5 minutes of this to see how it all turns out, guys. That's what you got to do, man. Give yourself 5 minutes. The 5-minute rule has been working for me for many years, guys. And I want you to know that it can be the difference between you having a good life and a bad life. Now, I'm here to tell you guys this, right? That if you want to live a life on your terms, you're going to have to take control of your emotions, right? You're going to have to take control of your emotions. You just can't let stress drive your emotions to the point of inaction. You gotta always have action. Action is literally the key to just about anything that you are dealing with emotionally, right? What I found out, right, and it's a little secret that I found out, guys, was that if you are feeling a certain way, and I don't care whether you're upset, crying, emotional, whatever, do some form of physical activity, right? Some form of physical activity, and you will be surprised by the time you are done. You're right as rain, man. You are right as rain, and especially during the activity. During the activity, you start to get the endorphins and all of the chemical reactions in your body, have a way of calming you down and allowing you to focus a little more, right? And for me, it has to do with just about everything that I do, right? When I'm feeling some form of stress, or I'm feeling like a job is too much for me, hey, listen, I'll break away and I'll do some house chores, right? Do a little bit cleaning or whatever. Or I'll break away and I'll do a workout, you know? Or I'll stop in the morning, I'll do some push-ups or something. Anything to get the blood circulating. Action creates action. That's it. You know, so you always want to be in motion, whether it is a motion in your brain, or whether it is motion in your physical body. Most of the time, I found that if it's motion in your physical body, it will get all of the juices and everything activated in your brain, and you will start to do things and be more creative and more positive and more energetic. And that's just another trick that I use, right, in order to achieve what I want. Now, another thing I started when it came to my emotions and my feelings about stress and pain and hard work and whatever it was, I began to redefine it, right? And I'm talking, start redefining such thing as pain. I redefine such things as stress. I redefine such thing as failure, right? And what it meant to me, right? Because all words are what they are. They're words. And once you begin to define what those words mean to you, now you can take control of your emotions and your life. So what I began to do is those three words that I told you, pain, stress, failure, and tons of other negative words, I made sure that I spent every single day, redefining those words as a challenge, right? I began to say that this is a challenge. I feel a pain. That's a challenge. I feel some stress. This is a challenge. Instead of using the word pain, I substituted it with challenge. Instead of using the word stress, I substituted it with challenge. Instead of using the word failure, I substituted it with challenge, right? And what happens with a challenge, as I've told you guys time and time again, when you are faced with a challenge, you want to tackle it. You want to do it. You want to get in there, roll up the sleeves and just work on it, because it's a challenge, guys. It is no longer something that you need to avoid, but something that you want to be a part of. You know, when it comes to my workouts and everything else, I love being involved in challenge. I do the push-up challenge. I do the squat challenge. I do the lose weight challenge. I'm currently doing the sobriety challenge, right? So I'm doing all type of challenges, okay, in order to make improvements in my life, right? And so these things are important. Now, another thing, guys, as I told you guys, stop being soft, right? And if you stop being soft, what do you have to do in order to stop being soft, guys? I will tell you. Don't even guess. This is what I do, right? I make sure that I spend every single day time under tension. Now, that is a weight training terminology, but here's the deal, right? Time under tension means every single day, right, you make sure that you put yourself in a position where you're feeling the stress, right? Feeling the stress so that you stop being afraid of it, so that it stops bothering you, so that it stops manipulating you mentally, because that's what it does, right? There's just nothing wrong with having something difficult that you can't figure out at the moment, you know? It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with having a pile of work that you have to complete, tons of filing that you got to put away, or tons of content that you have to create. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And once you understand that there's nothing wrong with it, you will then begin to subject yourself to the time under tension principle. That principle means that every single day you do the work. Every single day. You don't take a day off. You don't say, hey, this is a cheat day, I'm chilling out. No, every single day, right? And you have to do that. And not only will it become a habit, right? It will become your lifestyle. And once it becomes your lifestyle, right, That consistency will then build you into the person that deserves the things that you are asking for, the things that you want, the things you desire. So that time and attention and consistency is what makes you to grow, makes you to be able to handle that stress, that makes you to get that thick skin and that hard interior, so that when things come up against you, right, you're able to handle it, man. It is those reps and sets consistently that will make a difference in how your life turns out. The reps and sets, guys. You got to understand that. Reps and sets. Now, this will take you coming true to yourself, guys. You got to come true to yourself. You can't be lying to yourself. You have to say exactly where you are, right? If you want your dreams to come true. Where am I right now? What am I doing? How are my finances? How is my health? How is my relationship? Am I putting in the work, or am I not putting in work? And be honest with yourself and call yourself on it. Okay? Once you begin to call yourself on it, don't let the stress beat you up, right? Understand. Say, okay, I'm not doing the work. I need to put time under tension. I need to be consistent with my message. I need to be consistent with putting out the work so that I can get what I want. That's how you do it, guys. That's how you make dramatic changes in your life. That's it, man. You know, this podcast ain't long. This podcast is straightforward and to the point. You got to put in the work, and you got to stop avoiding stress, guys. You got to stop avoiding stress. Stress is your greatest teacher. It's your greatest teacher. You have to use it and manipulate it to have the type of life that you want, right? Last but not least, guys, you have to live your life every single day with intention, right? And the reason why you have to live with intention is because in life, nobody wants you to have what you want, period, right? And the reason is because most of the time people believe that if you get what you want, they won't get what they want, right? People don't understand that it is abundance everywhere, okay? But that is not your problem, right? You have to learn how to acknowledge the fact that people are going to come against you. You're going to have to acknowledge the fact that the universe is not going to be working in your favor every moment, all the time, okay? But when you begin to move with intention, this is what happens, right? You stop allowing everything and everyone to make you move, right, in the direction that they want you to move in. Once you set your attention, okay, and it is locked in, you know, right, like a honey badger, you know that this is the direction you're going, and nothing is going to stop you from getting there, right? So set your intention, guys. Set your intention. Say it to yourself every day. Speak it every day. Write it on your mirror so you can read it when you brush your teeth, all right? And continue to build up your self-confidence in order to achieve it through reps and sets, guys. Do this every day, and I promise you, your life is going to turn out incredible despite obstacles that come your way, guys. So listen, that is it for today, man. I'm wrapping it up. Make sure you guys hop on over to lieutenantsoundblue.com, right? Pick up your copy of my book, Top 25 Mistakes En Route to the Good Life. As well as, man, hop on over to grab my audiobook too, man. You guys grab my audiobook, you will see that I live what I write. I live what I write. I talk about what I write because this is my life, guys. And I'm trying to tell you that I live fulfilled with tons of happiness, tons of joy, great health, great family, okay, with an abundance. An abundance. And if you guys want to live this way, check me out each and every day. I will be telling you what is going on in my life, and I'll be giving you tons of secrets in order to make sure that you live a life of your dreams and live a life of your terms, man. So hop on over to Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter, okay, and follow me at lieutenantsoundblue.com, right? As well as, guys, shoot me a DM and give me something that you want me to talk about tomorrow that will help you move your life forward. As well as, guys, make sure you join my Facebook group, Top 25 Mistakes, where second halfers help first halfers to have the life that they want and avoid mistakes through transparency, man. So that's it for today, man. You guys have a fantastic evening. And I'm Lieutenant Sal Blue once again, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow. You're always a day away. But don't put things off from today to tomorrow. All right? Deuces.